So we're up at the start. It's the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. It is the 400th race of Henley Royal Regatta 2025. They won't know that. For them, they won't even be thinking about the route here. They just have 2,024 metres where they need to execute their best race ever. And they are off in the final of the Prince of Wales Intermediate Open Courts. We have Bonner Rudergesellschaft und Erster Kieler Ruderclub von 1862 who are against Marlow Rowing Club.
And what a start from both of these quads. You know, I just love watching the quads come out of the blocks, Kath. I think the blade work from both of these crews is absolutely sublime to watch. And Marlow Rowing Club there, I think a brilliant start from them, directly out the blocks, just as they would want to be. And they're right in the tussle with this German composite crew.
So yesterday the German crew was down for the first half of the race. It looks like they've gone out a little sharper, and Marlow know they have to be in it from the start. They have to race the race of their lives to take it to this German under-23 crew, and they are giving everything on the near side. Marlow Rowing Club, we have James Dolman, who is part of the history-making Wyfold winning crew in 2024 for Marlow, and in front of him Max Bird, then Harry Ruane, talented junior rower, so much experience that he brings, and stroke Alfred Heath.
So much experience in that Marlow crew. You know, you mentioned there James, who's won it in the bow seat. It's the same as Alfie, who's stroking this boat. Both of them with Henley experience. It's the exact same for Max Bird in the two seats. He won the Triple Crown with Windsor Boys back in 2022. So here he is, hoping to be lifting a famous red box once again. But they're down. They've got work to do in the opening stages of this race, because this German crew, who've had to navigate an incredibly close route to get to this final, you know, beating Dutch composites, French composites, and Reading University, are out in front, leading by about half a length, 2/3 of a length in the opening stages.
They've got flames on their caps over in that German crew. They were a little slower out yesterday, but they are on fire out of the start today. And we have Oskar Kroglowski at bow, Ole Hanak at 2, Moritz Cooper at 3, and Arno Gauss at stroke, who is steering the crew as well. And I hope there is a lot of support back home in Bonn, in Kiel. Und herzlich willkommen an alle unsere Zuschauer, die bei uns sind. We love having international audiences, and this is a matchup. And look at this crew. They are future Olympians for Germany, potentially. They have come here to get experience on this water. Moritz Cooper at 3 is the European under-23 champion and under-23 world medalist. They have so much experience in this crew. Ole Hanak also raced at under-23 level, as did Oskar Kroglowski. And Arno Gauss raced in the lightweight single at the World Championships. So they have to get the steering right, and it is Ben Helm who is warning Marlow, who are coming back. And of course, we've seen that so often. When you come back on a crew, you start watching them, and you can start moving into them a little closer. They want to hang on. They just have some contact, but the Germans want to break it. But it's the Germans now who have gone into Marlow's water. They've crossed halfway, and they're not far enough ahead to do that. So the umpire, Ben Helm, is warning the Germans to move back. So that is a lot of stress for Arno Gauss at stroke of the German crew, putting them under pressure. It looks at the moment as if that actually hasn't hurt them at all, and as they pile in the power to try and break free from Marlow Rowing Club, who are digging in now.
Wow, that's some brave steering there from Arno Gauss to move right into the middle of the course, and it's the same from Alfred Heath. You know, it's interesting, both of the strokes are the ones who are doing the steering in their crews, and I feel, Kath, you know, once the crews come together in the middle of the course, I think the pressure just ramps up and up. We can see the Germans just drifting back in again, and I feel that saps a lot of energy from both of those crews. It gets very intense compared to, you know, hugging the boom line. So I think they've got to be careful not to get sucked into too much of a contest in the middle stages, but they've got to be careful as well with their steering right out in the middle of the course, because it'll be Marlow Rowing Club who will just be absorbing up all those dirty puddles from them.
And it feels like Bonn and Kiel are really heading into the middle, which is hard for Marlow, because they don't want to come too close to the bows. They're going to start feeling that the puddles on the bow side of that German crew, but that does mean they can sense where they are. They know they're in contact, and here they go. This is a big push now that's going to come from Marlow. They have to have a go at this point to get back on terms. James Dolman at bow, Max Bird at 2, Harry Ruane at 3, Alfred Heath, who is stroking. This is it. This is the moment where they have to dig deeper than they've ever dug before.
They absolutely do. But of course, Alfred Heath, James Dolman in the bow seats knew they had to come from behind last year to win the Y-Fold Challenge Cups in that crazy, crazy finale against Thames Rowing Club. So they know what it's like to respond in front of the enclosures, the regatta enclosure, stewards enclosure, and there's enough distance between the two crews that they can launch a big counter-attack in the second half of this race, because they've still, importantly, got the overlap.
They have. They are coached by Jamie Atson, who's been doing great things with the senior squads at Marlow, supported by Ben Hinvis, Amy Campbell-Ord also coaching the Bridge 8. And he knows this course. He learnt his trade at Oxford Brookes, and he will know what was required to help them win last year, and he'll have given them everything he can. They are still overlapping. They are getting that bow is getting close to Arno Gauss, the stroke man. They are coming back. They have more to do, though.
Wow, and it's Marlow Rowing Club this time who are warned to move back over to their station, but the bows of Marlow Rowing Club are surging up the boat that the Germans are rowing in at the moment. But a big yank on the rudder at the moment from the steersman Alfred Heath in the stroke seat. That's going to cost them. You can just see that bow slipping back. So the move that they had, they've almost gone 2 steps forward, 1 step back there, and they've got to launch another attack to get back into contention.
That was such a big move for Marlow. They kept the contact, but they've been weathering it in the German crew, and now they are going to themselves try and go. So valiant, so brave to put it in, but we're alongside the enclosures now. The Germans can sense that. They are starting to build. They are starting to sprint. We see the back of Oskar Kroglowski as they call it up, as they take their rate up, and they are sprinting now to make history for Germany, for their own careers, as Marlow Rowing Club rally again.
Marlow Rowing Club rallying, and it's of course Leander Club, the previous 4-time winners in this race. We've never had a German crew lift the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup by our Leverkusen and reach the final in 2014, but could this German crew be the first ones to lift the Prince of Wales?
Marlow are still overlapping. They raise the rate again. They try and find more power. The incredible, powerful Harry Rune at 3 is piling it in behind Alfred Heath, but it is the Germans who cross the line first. Bonner Rudergesellschaft und Erster Kieler Ruderclub von 1862 have made history, and they were on fire the whole way down the course. You can just see how much Marlow put into that race as we see the Germans celebrating, and there is a hand up in the Marlow crew. It looked like a hand has gone up from Max Bird in the 2 seat, because there were some steering moments. And so the umpire's launch, which was about to start parking itself up, is now reversing to go back. It looks like a late protest, or it's taken a while for the umpire to see the hand, and so Ben Helm comes over to speak to the Marlow Rowing Club crew. So the crew is saying that the German crew came over into their water and washed them down.
When their blades were on the centre line. Sorry, gentlemen, there was no interference.
So we're just listening to Ben Helm, who is explaining what he saw, that at no point did the German oars impede, and that this has not changed the outcome of the race. He explained when he was warning and how they responded, and so the result will stand.